Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Monday, this July 11th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. We have got a lot to get into here on this Monday. I see Connor McCormish, Travis Allen, if you will. C. Youngblood, Chase Floyd, Cody Gaskins, Mason Jar, Music, Gamecocks fan 67. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you all tuning in. Also, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. We are off to a hot start this week, ladies and gentlemen. Justin, what's up? We're off to a hot start in this week because, and I want to start here with this. Actually, first things first, of course, the Daily Crow brought to you by our friends over at Carolina Ale House. Be sure to check out your local Carolina Ale House location. Right? They've got over 65 beers on tap, cold beer, great food. They've got tons of TVs. It's their number one spot to go catch a game, whether it be Gamecocks or not. And they got locations all across the state of South Carolina and also in Augusta, Georgia as well. And we'll be beginning the TSUS tour. My mouth's moving faster than my brain today. We'll begin the TSUS tour in about a week and a half. Yes, Thursday, July the 21st. We'll be out at Carolina Ale House in Somerville. Then the following Thursday, we'll be at the Myrtle Beach location. And then throughout the month of August, we'll be at all the locations. That schedule can be found on social media. Todd Smith, Tony Sharp, what's going on? Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Go check out our friends at Carolina Ale House and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. The reason, outside of just being excited to talk to you all, the reason that I'm so fired up right now, there's nothing like waking up to an email, right? The merchandise side of the business, tons of momentum around the entire side of the business, but the merchandise side of the business, we've got tons of momentum right now. We had damn near a record-setting weekend in regards to merch sales. You guys buying this guy right here and the T-shirts, the Beamer Rattler 22 merch. Thank you for the love and support on the merchandise side of things on the online store. Also, of course, as you all saw already, our merchandise now available in Todd and More Sporting Goods, specifically this guy right here, the Beamer Ball merch in garnet black and white. The reception has been so positive for Todd and More to this point, guys. Guess what? Yours truly wakes up to an email from the folks at Todd and More submitting yet another order, and an order damn near twice the size of the initial order, and also they want koozies in the location as well. So that deserves, let's go. Big time here on a Monday. Man, thank y'all so much, dude. Without you guys, your love and support, y'all going into Todd and More. Obviously, a ton of you have gone into Todd and More and you've supported and showed love, and they've ordered bigger sizes. They want bigger sizes. People have gone in there asking for bigger sizes because they only ordered up to an XL the first time. So we're going to have sizes in there now of up to 3X and 4X. So for my big Gamecocks, y'all going to have the sizes you need. Everybody's going to be taken care of, from small to 4X. Everybody's going to be taken care of. So big time, man. It's TSUS to the moon. It's TSUS season every season. It's awesome, man. It's incredible. The momentum we have right now is incredible. I'm trying to contain myself and the emotion. I've been fired up all morning, but I just want to say thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. And again, like I said, dude, it was a hell of a weekend on the online store. Every time I looked at my phone, there was another order. Todd Smith with the super chat. What's up, babe? Todd, appreciate you, Todd, with the super chat, my dude. Yeah, if you want to support the business, support the content, support the channel, everything we do, and you're on YouTube, you can do so through super chat and super stickers. Thank you, Todd. Again, man, I'm really excited. Because the more things that happen like this, it just allows us to do more great things, to produce more merch, to get in more locations, to do more cool stuff with content and the business. And so, again, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Like I said, it was a crazy weekend with merchandise. I think people are starting to finally listen to me when I say, hey, get it now. 54 days. Guys, do you realize? I mean, we're almost to the 1 month point. We're that close. A week from today, SEC Media Days begins. Like, we're that close. We're that close to kickoff, right? We're literally 3 weeks away from the start of fall camp. Like, we are that close to kickoff. So get your merch now, man. Get your merch, because I know a lot of you are going to be saying, Chris, I don't have my merch. I'm going to say, go to Todd and More. I'm not going to have any at the tailgate. Now, we're going to plan on having those those towels. And I might have some inventory, but I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee it. So, anyways, man, thank y'all so much. Truly, man, you can tell I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm fired up. I mean, anytime you get an email like that, and just to know, man, like I felt confident that Todd and Moore was going to reorder. The Beamer Ball stuff, it speaks for itself. It's a catchy phrase, catchy slogan. I think we've done a great job with the simple text and just the quality of the shirts and everything else, right? But for them to literally reach out, that merchandise has been in there literally a week. A week ago was July 4th. It hit their shelves. It hit their racks Tuesday, July 5th. It is Monday the 11th, and they're already reaching out wanting more. So, I mean, that just speaks to, again, guys, you guys love and support and rocking with the business and rocking with the merchandise and just rocking with everything. And, dude, I don't take it for granted, man. I posted a picture last night, a screenshot from 2018 of our Instagram. We had like 450 followers, man. Like I need people. I want people to understand. For those of you that may not, maybe you're a newer fan of TSUS, or you just found TSUS a year ago, and that's great. That's great. But understand, this shit came from zero. Like this shit started at literally zero. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, I was like, dude, if one person finds value in this, I will have succeeded. I'll have won. And certainly we're blessed to say there's a lot more than one person that finds value. So Hunter Herlong, yes, we do have tank tops of Beamer Rattler. Yes, there are tank tops available. If you go to the store, you click on the tab and you see the whole Beamer Rattler 22 collection, there is a tank top available. So be sure to check that out. Hey, let's talk some football today too. For those of you who may have taken like a hiatus in regards to tuning in the podcast and all that, that's totally fine. But now is the time to tune back in, because obviously we're already deep into it. I dropped my predictions last week, but now we are getting in the nitty-gritty of diving into this football team. Today's podcast, the 2022 season preview series, began as I talked the South Carolina offense, about a good 45-minute podcast. Really, really great stuff. Highly suggest you check that out. Dove into everything from a look back at 2021, key departures, key Gamecocks, the top newcomers, of course, top storylines for the year, why they'll be better, why they'll be worse, season will be successful if, gave my prediction, all that good stuff. Really fun talking about the offense. And, of course, the side of the ball that I think has the most storylines. I was going to say question marks, but has the most storylines for sure. I mean, when you're led by a guy, the additions of Spencer Rattler and Antoine Wells and Christian Beal-Smith, and you've got what you got with the offensive line. Who knows what's going to happen? And Marcus Satterfield's job security. There's a lot of things we're looking forward to when it comes to the offense. So really excited for that. Also, guys, a quick update on the Daily Crow. As you all know, this is a hectic week for me. We are moving, and also a couple of things I forgot about. Did not forget this. My little brother is coming in town. He will be here tomorrow night, the one that is in the Army. He has been in Alaska since, January? We have not seen him in about 6 months, okay? So he will get here tomorrow night, late tomorrow night. He will be here basically Wednesday through Saturday. Also, this I sort of forgot about, and I apologize to my little brother, but my little brother Matthew, he is turning 17, I believe. No, is he turning 18? God, that's bad. I'm sorry. I think he's turning 17. I think. Maybe 18. God, I'm terrible. Either way, his birthday is Wednesday. So there's a lot of family stuff happening this week. So with that being said, the podcast unaffected. Dropping the podcast Wednesday, Friday. We may not have an interview this week. I was trying to get Phil Steele on the show, but he was going to come on Wednesday morning. So I don't know. We might just say, screw it, no interview this week. Just the season preview series. Podcast, though, unaffected. Season preview series will continue Wednesday. We'll talk defense. Friday, we'll talk special teams. I'm going to go ahead and make the executive decision right now that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be no Daily Crow. I don't want to do that, but I just think realistically that is what needs to happen. Again, my brother will be in town, family things going on, the move happening, which is going to take up a full day or two. We will still do the Tin Roof Show on Wednesday night. So you still got that. There's still that for 2 hours, but we're only going to have the Daily Crow today and tomorrow. I went ahead, made that decision. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I went ahead and scheduled out the Daily Crow for the week. I will go through and adjust accordingly. But that is the best means of operation for this week, guys. And again, I do apologize for that. I apologize to my daily crowers that I know we're going to be missing out. But again, hadn't seen my brother in 6 months, and we got big plans for the family this week. My little brother's birthday, like I said, Wednesday as well, and so we got a lot of stuff going on. And so this is the time of year to take that time to do that. Obviously, when we get into football season, there will be no days off. So again, apologies for those of you who may be affected this week, but I think that's going to be the move. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be no Daily Crow podcast, ineffective. No Daily Crow Wednesday night 10 Roof Show. Either way, here we go. Let's get into everything. We got a text here. Thoughts on recruiting? Seems like the last week or so, all these schools have been getting big-time commitments, and Carolina's been kind of at a standstill. I think we're fine. I don't worry about it, my guy. Listen, other schools are going to recruit. You know what I mean? Other schools are going to recruit. It's almost kind of like in recruiting, like when your school's not getting the guys and you see others, especially when it's your rivals, when you see others getting commitments, it's like that meme of Squidward looking out the window and seeing SpongeBob and Patrick and then whatever running around. He's like looking out from a distance. That's what it feels like when other schools are getting commitments and you're kind of at a standstill, like you mentioned. We'll be fine, dude. We'll be fine. It's July. We'll get the guys we need. We'll be good. I'm not worried about it. I know Beamer's got us. He's going to fill out this class. We got a long way to go still, so I would not worry if I was you. Again, I know you can get some envy and look like, oh, man, when are we going to get our – we'll get our guys. We'll get our guys. You can't make guys announce at any certain time. We'll get our guys. By the way, for those who tuned in a little bit later, those who just tuned in, whatever, in case you missed it, thank y'all for the love and support with the merch for these guys and Todd and Moore, because guess what? Yours truly wakes up to an email. Todd and Moore has submitted another order and an even bigger order than the first order. Air horn, Selly. Feels good to be good. TSUS to the fucking moon. Let's go. Bad day to hate TSUS. Horrid day to hate TSUS and to hate me. I can tell you that. Feels good to be good. Let's see. Somebody asked GG merch in the works. Let's get him to commit first. Let's see. Tommy Wallace says, let Rebecca and Robbie do the show while you're out. I'd let them do it if I thought they knew how to set everything up and run the show. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see. Travis Allen says, per sources, SEC's content with 16 teams, no further expansion. Okay. Peyton Ledwell, I wish Paul Feinbaum would bring you on a show soon. We should bring Paul Feinbaum on this show. How about that? Now, I'd love to go on. I'd love to talk ball with Paul. I really want to. I hope this conversation with Phil Steele happens. I know it probably will. Phil Steele, I forgot about this. I saw it, but then I forgot, and then I just got reminded of it this morning. Phil Steele doesn't have the Gamecocks ranked in his preseason top 60. Listen, I don't think the Gamecocks are a preseason top 25 team, but top 60? You lose me at not having us in the top 60. You lose me there. So I can't wait to talk to Phil. I mean, Phil, you got teams like Utah State. You think South Carolina's not beating Utah State? You're kidding me. You're joking. I don't understand it at all. AJ Bauer says, Chris, do you think we land Lonergan? Personally, I think he commits to Stanford. A lot of smoke saying we won't because of the pickup of Reno. So I would doubt it. I don't think we get him. Colby Parker, you promised he's a Gamecock. Yeah. Per sources, best sources in the game. Dude, it's so funny, like when I'm obviously joking, people still get upset. It's so funny. Hunter Herlong with the love, my guy. Appreciate you, Hunter. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you, Hunter. If you guys do want to support the business, the content, the channel, everything we do, and you're on YouTube, Super Chat, Super Stickers, truly appreciate y'all, man. Again, like I said, today's podcast, we talked the season preview series. Beginning the season preview series. Let's see, the season preview series, talking the offense. Let's see. Hunter Harlon, great day to have a day. Indeed. Great day to have a day, my friend. Great day to have a day. Great day to have a day. Let's see. Jeff Gullidge, appreciate you, my dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, my guy. Yeah, man, it was incredible though. The weekend, I mean, dude, merch was just flying. I mean, merch was flying, dude. I can't say enough good things, man, to you guys. How grateful I am. It's incredible. I mean, it's wild to go to games and see like one person rocking the merch. And I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of folks in the Beamer Rattler, the Beamer Ball. I mean, it's incredible, man. So I can't say thank you enough. I can't say thank you enough. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's incredible. Let's see. Getting to your questions. Again, guys, phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. Wendy Wilkins asks, how do you think the offensive line is going to do this year? That's a great question, Wendy. Wendy, that's a great question. Because what's wild, right, is we talk, offensive line's a question mark, offensive line's a question mark, and it is. And it is. But you look at this Gamecocks team, right? You look at this Gamecocks football team and you look at this offensive line. And you say to yourself, how can they not be better? Like, how is it even possible, right? How is it even possible South Carolina could not be better? Abysmal a season ago, right? Gave up 31 sacks. One of the worst in the country at running the football. And I'm trying to pull up this stat here. That's what I'm doing right now. Of starts. Let's see. Here we go. South Carolina returns all 5 starters. As Skyland wants to cut me off. Here we go.
Skyland Davis.
Skyland, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. What's going on?
Just chilling. Calling to check in on you, see how you doing in general.
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic. Couldn't be better.
That's good to hear. I'm glad your merch is selling, buddy.
Yeah, it's selling. It is selling for sure, and it's a blessing, man. I appreciate it.
Anyway, I was calling to see, just to check in and be like, how do you feel about the running back situation? I saw where you had Christian Bill starting. I'm shooting the way of Marshawn Lloyd. I feel like Marshawn stretches his knee this year. He has a good season, and it shows why he was a 5-star.
And I mean, dude, it's very possible that happens. Listen, I mean, I think who starts. I mean, and so that projected starting 11 was for week 1, right? And it depends on scheme, personnel, formation, whatever. I mean, I think I just projected Beal Smith will get the first carry of the year. I mean, obviously Lloyd's going to play a ton. And I hope he plays a ton. I hope he is the guy. You know what I mean? I'm sort of in show me mode with Lloyd, but I hope he lives up to the billing, bro. I really do. I'd hate to say that he was a bust. I'd hate to say that we missed out on his 5-star talent. So, who starts at the running back position, especially week 1? I mean, it's not like that's not – I'm not sitting here saying that Beal Smith's the number 1 guy the entire year. I think week 1 he does start. He was the first running back in the spring game. I would not be surprised if he's the first back to come out there against Georgia State. How does that shape out the rest of the year? I have no idea. But the running back room is interesting. The running back room is interesting because I think fans, we've gotten so accustomed to just saying, oh, our running back room is one of the best in the SEC. But it's not. It's actually not this year. Phil Steele's got it ranked 12th. I don't know how much you value his opinion, but 12th out of 14 in the conference, which I think might be a little harsh. But, I mean, Beal Smith's a transfer. Lloyd's unproven. I think Juju McDowell is the most underrated player on the offense. I think he needs to touch the football more. But he's not an every down back. And then beyond that, Rashad Amos didn't even play last year hardly. And then Lavassier Carroll played defensive back last year. So not a lot of proven commodities. I mean, Beal Smith's the most proven commodity in that room, right? He's the most proven commodity in that room. So I think there's upside and talent there. I think the bigger question's more around the offensive line. If we get the blocking necessary, I think we've got enough talent in the backfield to have a productive enough running game, right, for Spencer Rattler. But, yeah, I mean, I've got Beal Smith taking the first carry, but, like, I'm not going to fight you if you think it's going to be Lloyd. Like, I think we're in a good spot in regards to 1 and 2. And listen, I think they're going to give Lloyd every opportunity to win the job. And I'm not saying you do that because a guy's a 5-star, but you like to get the most out of him. You like to see him turn into the guy you thought he was going to be on the recruiting trail. Because, again, it's just when you miss on a prospect, and just in my opinion, when you miss on a prospect, you miss on a recruit, and they don't pan out, it hurts a lot more when it's like a 5-star guy. It just hurts a lot more because it's like, again, at Carolina, we don't get enough of them to miss on them. So when you get a 5-star, he needs to play like it. Dude, Marshawn Lloyd is the Jordan Burch of the offense, right? Like those two guys are very similar questions around them coming into this year. Those two are dangerously creeping close to bust territory. I don't care how that sounds. It's true. When you come in with the hype and the expectation, it's different for Lloyd because he had an injury. It's much different for Lloyd because he had an injury. But when you come in with those type of expectations and hype, you got to pan out. You got to deliver, right?
What about Zach Pickens? How would you rate Zach Pickens?
Well, I thought Pickens had a solid year last year. I mean, it wasn't great, but I feel most confident of the 5-star guys, former 5-star guys, of Pickens out of those three. I mean, it's kind of tough, too, to judge a defensive tackle because it's not like they're exactly blowing up the stat sheet. But I thought Pickens had a solid year. I mean, I thought he did. He needs to be better, too. They all need to elevate their level. Fair or unfair, you say whatever you want to say about the star ratings, but you come in as this hotshot 5-star guy, you need to play like it. You need to play like it and pan out. So, listen, I'm excited for Lloyd. I mean, he wasn't terrible last year. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't hotshot 5-star Marshawn Lloyd that we envisioned. So, you know, I think we didn't give enough credit to the injury, how tough it is to come off of that and play. And you just hope now that he really is comfortable with the knee and that he's going to be, you know, even 90% of what he thought he was going to be when he stepped foot on campus.
I guess before I let you go, I want to give my breakout player prediction.
Mm-hmm.
And I just enjoy and I love Alex Huntley. And I think he is going to be the breakout star of that this defense this year.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like Boogie a lot, man. I like Boogie a lot. He's I think he's poised for a big year also.
Offensive side, I'd like to see Juju how he's going to be coming from a freshman to a sophomore. Mm-hmm. But Van, I want to see Van take the next step. He took a big step last year. I want to see him take a bigger step this
year. Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're talking about Josh Van, man. All those receivers, the numbers should increase. I mean, you got a guy like Rattler slinging the ball, stability at the quarterback position, they all should. Yeah, I would expect big numbers from the guys on the outside. Like I said, I think Juju McDowell's the most underrated player on the offense. I just every time he touches the ball, I feel like he's getting 10 yards. So the interesting thing about South Carolina is, you know, last year at this time I was talking lack of personnel. We don't have the weapons. Dude, I didn't even have Josh Van in the starting rotation at this time last year. I thought it was going to be Brooks, Joyner, and I think Ortre maybe or something. Like, I don't know which was – no, Amarian Brown. Excuse me, Amarian Brown. I was not a Josh Van believer because we had no reason to believe in Josh Van going into last season. You know, so now, I mean, I think that what's crazy looking at this year, you go from lack of personnel, we don't have any weapons, to now you got to figure out there's a lot of guys that need to touch the football. I mean, I'm very curious to see how Marcus Satterfield, you know, and I think it's going to change week to week based on opponent, you know, your game plan and all that. But, you know, Jaheim Bell, Austin Stogner, Josh Van, Antoine Wells Jr., Corey Rucker, Juju McDowell, Marshawn Lloyd, Christian Beal Smith, they all need to touch the football. Dak Joyner, they all need to touch the football in some capacity. So how do you divide that up?
Now you got Jalen Brooks back.
And you got Jalen Brooks back, yeah. So
I don't think Jalen Brooks and the carrier are going to get a lot of touches this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dak is if you can get him 5 to 7 touches per game in some type of – and again, I think it's going to depend on on the opponent. I mean, listen, I don't think Dak Joyner's a great wide receiver, and I don't think that's a bold take. But he is an athlete, and you can do a lot of things with a guy who has the athleticism of a Dakereon Joyner. His role on this offense is one of the most intriguing storylines, I think, for sure, because, you know, I mean, after that bowl game, it's hard to convince fans that, well, he just doesn't have a place on this offense. It's like, well, look what he did. I'm not saying at quarterback. I'm not even saying at full-time receiver, but I think there's creative ways you can get him the football and make him a weapon.
Yeah, got to be creative to put him in the offense. I don't think he's your every down quarterback or every down wide receiver. You got to be creative to get him in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think we get that commitment today. Not only because of we got Reno, but I've also heard that Kingston didn't show up to his official visit because he wants to be baseball and football, and so we didn't roll. Kingston didn't show up, so that really hurt us really bad. Getting the Dillon kid.
Right. Well, Skyland, Kingston's a slapdick. So, I mean, I you know, man, I love baseball, and I love people talking baseball, and so I'll gladly talk baseball with you anytime. With that being said, it would not faze me in the slightest if we didn't talk baseball again until January of next year. That's how down and out and sick of baseball I am. So I don't give a damn if we talk. I don't give a damn if we talk 1 minute of baseball until January of 2023. I really don't.
I tell you what,
there ain't shit to talk about. There ain't shit to talk about.
I tell you what, I'm not ready for, because I do predict we're going to make the postseason, and I'm just going to put this on your show. We're going to make a postseason. We're going to be a good baseball team next year. I'm just not ready for the Kingston supporters to be like, oh yeah, now you're happy because we're winning. Now you want to keep him. Like, no, even if we make the postseason next year, I want to put it on record. I still want him fired. The only way I jump off the fire Kingston train is he has a good year in 2024. Not 23. He has to have a good year in 24 to me to get off the fire Kingston train.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think the pitching will carry us yet again. We'll hit 260. We'll win 33 games, and we'll back our way into the postseason next year. That's probably about fair. It's probably about fair. I mean, granted, listen, they've added some good players in the transfer portal, but you're a damn fool if you're picking this team to hit better than 260. You're a fool because they haven't done it. Yeah. Why would you do it? Why would you pick this team to hit above 260? He hadn't done it with anybody. Who gives a shit what transfers they add? You're going to add a guy that hit 208 at Clemson, and all of a sudden he's going to carry the load for you? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
What are you going to say to the guys that come at you and saying, oh, yeah, what about now? What about Kingston now? Or what's it going to take for you to get off the fire Kingston train?
I mean, again, I think you got to go to the supers. I think at minimum, I think you got to go to the supers. Because, again, if you don't go to the supers, you either, one, miss the postseason and he should be fired. You either, two, traveled to a regional and lost out. You should be fired. Or maybe even worse, number three, you hosted and you lost. You should be fired. So I think the only thing that realistically saves his job is a super regional.
Yeah, that is true. That's what I've heard.
I think that's it.
Supers are better.
Yeah.
If he makes it to a regional and loses, he's out. If he has to get to a super to save his job. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
Well, how many more days you got left to pack, buddy?
I got a couple. Everybody will be kept up to date. I got a couple. So it is coming down to the wire. What?
I hope you got your spot to go to.
Yeah, no, we're good, my guy. Everything's taken care of.
Oh, heck yeah.
So.
All right, well, enjoy your day, and I can't wait to kick off.
Spot
the damn ball.
Yeah, man. Spot the ball. Toe meets leather. All right, brother. Hey, we'll talk soon. Appreciate you, Skyland. I don't know if I just cut him off, but oh well. Anyways, back to the offensive line conversation because I really want to get into this. How could the offensive line be worse than it was a season ago? We're talking about a line that gave up 31 sacks, averaged just 3.8 yards per carry, 136 yards per game, one of the worst in college football. The offensive line was terrible. But you return all 5 starters. Your career starts are 129 amongst those gentlemen. You've got 7 offensive linemen who have started 6 or more games in a season. I mean, you only really lose Turnetine from the group. Second year in the system, second year under Atkins, Satterfield. I'm not saying the offensive line is going to make a jump and be one of the best in the SEC, but I think we should expect a fairly significant improvement. Not saying they're going to be great, but how could this unit not be better? How could these numbers not improve? All 5 back. Normally, you look at that as like, that's a great thing. For South Carolina, it's like, we don't know what we're getting. We don't know what these guys are going to do. So I think it's very reasonable for Gamecock fans, for all of us to expect a major jump on the offensive line. Let's see. Getting back into your questions. Daddy-O, a bigger disappointment, Kingston or Muschamp? Kingston, just because baseball has actual championship expectations. And Muschamp was a slapdick when he got here. Let's see. David Barnes. Is Juju, Lloyd, or Carroll more likely to be this year's Zaquandre White? When you say this year's Zaquandre White, I'm assuming you just mean like the leading ball carrier. I'd probably go Lloyd. I think Lloyd has the best chance to do that. I mean, I hope Lloyd balls out, man. I really do. Aaron Hodges, give the ball to Bell and let everybody else move out of the way. Well, Aaron, they're going to key in on Jaheim Bell, so we better have somebody else who can do something with it, and I know we do. Pause. I don't know who needs to screenshot this. We need to pause Brian Lattimore, though. Pause. Let's see. Rebecca, Chris, we're still doing my birthday show on here tomorrow. Rebecca, happy early birthday to you. Happy early birthday. We'll let the TDC gods decide how tomorrow's show plays out. How about that? And to the textbook, what's going on? Joe Anders says Wanamaker's 10 times better than Turnetine. I mean, yep. Turnetine did provide us with one of the greatest gifts of all time last year, so there is that. Jeff Gullidge. We all agree the O-line will be the key to offensive success, but we can also agree the difference between great O-line play can get us 10 wins, good O-line play can get us 7 wins, bad O-line play can get us 4 wins. That's a hell of a spread there, Jeff. You really think 4 and 8 is possible? Let's jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Carter.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hello, Chris. How are you doing today?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. What's up?
I just want to talk about the absurdity of some high school groups planning every Saturday in fall. Looking at my calendar right now, I don't have the 3rd, but we've got Saturday the 10th, Saturday the 17th, Saturday the 24th, Saturday the 1st, Saturday the 15th, Saturday the 22nd, and all the way up to Saturday the 5th where it ends. TSA, don't do that.
I got to be completely honest, my guy. I'm totally lost on what you're talking about.
Well, my group, the leader of our group is not as much of a passionate Carolina fan as I, and a lot of the Saturdays for the football games are taken up due to scheduling, and it's not a great situation.
Taken up by what?
I am in the marching band.
Oh, okay.
And believe me, I love what I do, and I know what I signed up for, but it still sucks.
Do you know you're in the marching band at Carolina or high school? You said
no, in high school.
Oh, okay.
I planned to be at Carolina.
Gotcha.
In high school.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, my guy. That's unfortunate. One of our TDC Hall of Famer, Big Cock Club member, Brendan M, is is actually in the band at USC. So I think he probably feels your pain a little bit.
At least I get to be at the games.
Right. He's also had to miss some games though due to competitions and all that.
That is true. Well, Chris, that's about all I had to say today. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Call in anytime, my guy. I appreciate it. And hopefully you get to catch more games than you missed this year. Say that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Take care. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. I appreciate you sharing your schedule with us. Austin Greer, can't believe you have our third or fourth best running back as RB1. Austin, Christian Beal-Smith started the spring game. All accounts I've heard, he's near the top, literally led Wake Forest in rushing. I think if you think he's our third or fourth best running back, I think that is a much more bold take than me saying he gets the first carry of the season. So, and Austin, you know that if you want to write an article and dispute me, you have the platform to do so. You're more than welcome to. I mean, whatever. I mean, like I said, if you want to argue Lloyd gets the first carry, like, I'm not going to fight you on it. First carry of the season, would not shock me if they go to the veteran, the guy who, like I said, led the Wake Forest Demon Deacons in rushing a season ago. An offense that was much better than ours, by the way. Not even close. Much better. Jeff Golich. Jeff, did you ask me this question for the podcast? Because if you did, I answered it. If you did, I did answer it on the podcast. He says, more like, because I know I answered this question. He says, is it more likely we have a 1,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard receiver, or two 1,000-yard receivers? I think two 1,000-yard receivers is more likely. I don't think anybody in our running back room hits 1,000. I don't think we'll have the offensive line to do so, and I think we'll be dividing up carries to a point where nobody hits 1,000. I could see Jaheim Bell and Josh Vann both going over 1,000. I could. I like, that would be crazy. Don't get me wrong, and we're going to have a very potent offense if that happens, but I could see it. And what is more likely? I think two 1,000-yard receivers, which, again, would be madness. I mean, our passing attack would be unreal. It would be unreal. But, I mean, dude, you had Van last year with 600 and Bell last year with 500. So, I mean, you think it's not that crazy, not that unrealistic to think their numbers are going to increase. They're both, I think, going to be near 1,000. No doubt. I think they're both going to be near 1,000. So, let's see. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Chase Floyd, I can't wait for Robbie to call and hear his opinion on the offense. Yeah, dude, it's always great to hear Robbie call in. Travis Lee, hope we establish a true running back duo. Yeah, me too. I mean, I think a 1-2 punch of Lloyd, Beal-Smith, Lloyd, whatever would be great. I mean, how do you use Juju? Does he factor in the 1-2? I mean, obviously he needs to touch the football. I just don't know if he's a guy you're not going to ask Juju McDowell, I think, to carry it 20 times a game. I think you could be a 10 to 15 carry per game guy, and you use him in the passing game as well. Again, great problem to have. Great problem to have. You've got, you got a lot of guys who can touch the football. You've got some talent. You've got personnel this year. I don't think you can use the excuse of, well, we just don't have any playmakers. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm not saying you're going to be the best offense in the SEC, but you got enough weapons to be productive, right? You got enough weapons to be productive, no doubt. No doubt. Let's see. Let's see. Here's a hot take from, not to me, but for a lot of folks, this is going to be a hot take. Caden Gibson says, Dak Joyner is extremely overrated by our fan base. He is at best a gadget quarterback. Caden, that's a harsh way to put it, but I don't think you're totally off. I think Dak Joyner's an athlete, right? He's an athlete. He's not a great wide receiver. He's not a great quarterback, but he's an athlete. So there are creative ways to use athletes like Dakereon Joyner. But is he going to be an all-conference player at any sort of position? No. The best way to use Dak Joyner, like you said, is gadget plays, is the wild cock formation, or in bubble screens. Like, you're not asking Dak Joyner to go out there and run a freaking route and go beat a guy. You're not asking him to do that. That's not his forte. Again, he's not a great wide receiver. That's okay. That's okay, but he's not. He's not. I think we all agree with that. There's a reason when he was being recruited, guys, Bama, Clemson, the big schools, they wanted him as a safety because he's not a quarterback. He's not. He's not a receiver either. He's just an athlete, and that's fine, but that's what he is. And I hope we use the most out of his athleticism. I hope we get the most out of his athleticism, but you make a very fair point. You make a very fair point. Let's see. Yeah, Aaron Thompson, if we ever had two 1,000-yard receivers, no reason to think it's going to happen this year. That's fair, Aaron. I don't think we have. That's very fair. That's very fair. I'm not, Aaron, I'm not expecting it to happen. But you ask me what's more likely, I think it's more likely we have two 1,000-yard receivers than a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard rusher. I think two 1,000-yard receivers is more likely. So I just, how can you trust this offensive line to produce a 1,000-yard rusher? There's just no way. I mean, we couldn't run for shit last year. Couldn't run for shit. Even if we improve, I don't think you're going to see a 1,000-yard rusher. Hunter Herlong. Our friend Josh Pate says Georgia at Carolina is one of the biggest swing games in September. You know, that's interesting coming from Josh. It's nice to have that kind of hype and expectation. And when he says swing game, he's talking about swing game for the conference. And so I can see that. I can see that if South Carolina is able to beat Arkansas or just, pull that massive upset, well, it just completely changes the landscape of the SEC East. That doesn't even mean South Carolina is going to win the East. What it means is it might be a little bit more wide open than we thought. Maybe a Kentucky, maybe a Tennessee. Maybe they win the East. I don't think it's going to happen, but, I could see. I still just say that Georgia game. I think it's the toughest game we have on our schedule. I think Georgia's going to be elite yet again, and I don't think we're quite ready. But you never know. You beat Arkansas, got Georgia on your home field. I mean, you never know. I don't go into that game thinking we are ready to really challenge them. Great measuring stick game, though. Where are we? How close are we? How far away are we? We'll see. Travis Allen says 9 or possibly 10 wins if we get a 1,000-yard rusher and a 1,000-yard receiver. I could see a very good season. I mean, yeah, Travis Allen, if you have a 1,000-yard rusher and 1,000-yard receiver, you're winning a lot of games. Let's see. Yeah. Aaron Thompson said offensive line could be better than last year, but still not very good. That's a great point because the O-line was so bad last year. Again, I don't know how you could get worse. I don't know how it's even possible. I don't know how it's possible. So I don't know how it's possible to get worse. I really don't. Colby Parker, if we start 2-0, are we ranked hosting Georgia? Yeah, I would say you're ranked for sure. Yeah. I would personally not rank South Carolina in the preseason, but you start 2-0, yes, I think you're close enough to the top 25 when you start the year that those 2 wins will get you in the top 25. And I think due to ESPN too for ratings, I think they're going to want to see Carolina, a top 25 Carolina hosting, a top-ranked Georgia or top 3 in the country, Georgia, whatever. David Garrick, we beat Arkansas. Do we get game day in Cola? I'd be more confident saying yes if it wasn't a noon game, but I guess you never know. So let's see. Garrett says, if we lose to Georgia by single digits, will you feel confident moving ahead to play the rest of our SEC schedule? Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll have a pretty damn good football team if we lose to Georgia by single digits. I mean, I think that'll say, hey, we're going to be okay this year. Yeah, I'll feel pretty confident because, again, I think Georgia's going to be elite again. I think Georgia, I think they will be elite. I think they're going to be a really good football team. Guys, we're rocking and we're rolling here on this Monday. I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Andrew, the textbook, makes the point. ESPN's had game day with noon games before. They had it with Georgia and Arkansas last year. Indeed. Hey, I hope it happens, bro. I'm praying. You think I don't want game day for Carolina, Georgia? Be incredible. That would be, dude, even just like SEC Nation. I'll take SEC Nation. I'll take anything. Having them on campus last year was incredible. I will gladly take that. Travis Allen, don't sleep on Landon Sampson. I think he's going to be badass. Here's the thing with Sampson, Travis Allen. I just don't think he's going to have to play. Like if he catches 15 passes, I'll be impressed. I mean, really, dude, who's he taking, Travis Allen? Who's he taking catches away from? You know, you think a true freshman's going to come in and take catches away from Bell, from Van, from Stogg, from Antoine Wells, Xavier Legette, Dak Joyner, Jalen Brooks? Like, who's he taking catches from? And then all your running backs, they can catch the football too. Who's he taking catches from? So, I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, guys, today's podcast, talking offense. Talking offense. Also in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel, Keith brings this up. Yeah, Keith, thank you. In case you missed it, Saturday was the 1-year anniversary of the Big Cock Club. So, happy birthday to the Big Cock Club. Really, really great stuff, man. I appreciate those sincerely that are in the Big Cock Club and show love and support that way for the business. Truly incredible, man. Truly incredible. Let's see. Okay, again, talking offense on the podcast today. What would spell a successful season for the South Carolina offense? So many questions. Marcus Satterfield's on the hot seat. Is there a certain mark, a yards per game, a points per game, a win total that people need to see? For me, I think the magic number for this offense is 30. 30 points per game. 30 points per game or more, and I will be willing to say you had a successful season. Now, there are a lot of variance there. There's a lot of moving parts, right? In which games did you score over 30, right? Did you just pad your stats in the non-conference and then you struggled in conference, whatever? But I think when we look back when the dust settles in 2022, if you can get to that 30-point per game mark, I think that will be enough to have had a really successful season offensively and in turn a successful season as a whole as a football team, right? I think at 30 points per game or more, and I predict that this offense will finish 31 points per game. If you go back and look at my predictions from last week, if you average it all up, it averages to 31 points per game. I think that's a fair expectation. I think it's a fair prediction. And I think it's fair to say if you average 30 or more, and it's a big jump, right? You only averaged, around 23 points per game last year, which was abysmal. But with all the pieces you've added, I think it's fair and realistic to expect this offense to jump to that 30 points per game or greater mark, which should put you at a top 50 nationally offense. I think that's a fair expectation. I really do. So that's what I see. I think that's a successful season. I think that is a successful season. Brandon Wagner, the hat is fire. Thank you, sir. TSUS.store, Brandon. It is there. It is there. You click the little tab. We got the Beamer Rattler 22 collection. I was talking about this earlier in the show, Brandon. Merch went crazy over the weekend. A lot of you stocking up on your Beamer Rattler stuff. We've got this in T-shirts, hats, flags, tank tops, hoodies, everything you could think of. We've got it. So be sure to get it. Get it now, man. Check it out. Get it now. Why not? Get it now. Hey, go ahead and get it before kickoff happens. By the way, guys, we're a month away. We're a month away.
Call from.
Or excuse me,
Aaron.
a week away from SEC Media Days. Just a
To
week.
accept,
Crazy.
press 1. To send.
Aaron, what's up, man? How are you?
Chilling, man. On my way to the gym as usual.
Nice. Love to hear it. Getting that pump in. I love to hear that.
I gotta get it before work, man. If not, them old people and their damn cell phones will drive me crazy.
I hear you, man. Hey, I hear you. Nothing like a good sweat, my dude. I normally break my day up. I'll grind in the morning, do the Daily Crow, then I'll go to the gym. So I split my day in half, kind of.
Well,
that's generally how I get after it.
but it's 10 o'clock here, so.
Oh, true.
I
Very
am
good
in the
point.
morning.
Very good point. Very good point.
As far as offense is concerned, everyone knows the offensive line is going to be the tail of the season. I think it may take Rattler a few games.
Mhm.
That's why I'm kind of iffy on the Arkansas game. I'm thinking it's going to take him a few games to get it, to get kind of acclimated to the, just to the speed, the speed of the not just Southeastern Conference, but football in the South in general. Because he is coming from the Big 12, which they don't. It's not that they don't play defense, but a lot of teams don't play defense very well there. So he's not going to. I don't think he's going to see the athletes on defense that he saw in the Big 12.
Right.
One, so he's going to have to get acclimated to that. 30 points. You brought up a good point about the running backs. Lloyd coming off an injury, by all means, you got to ACL. It doesn't matter how quickly you come back from it; it's still a significant injury, and everyone else is unproven. So they're gonna have to step up. Van stepped up last year. I don't see a 1,000 yard. I don't see a 1,000-yard receiver. I see a 900 in Bell. You are right though. A lot of teams are going to try to take him away first. Like he's the only person on offense I think that can control a game from an offensive standpoint. Rattler as well, but Bell and Rattler are the only two that everybody in the country, when they play the Gamecocks, are going to say, okay, these are the two. As of right now, as if we're looking at it on paper, these are the two guys that we have to take away to limit their offense.
Right.
The only thing about 30 points, I just think the schedule is much better than last year. So, the competition is much better. There's no – who do they play?
Talking about who now?
Yeah.
We played – yeah. Opened up with EIU last year. So the Georgia State opener is much more stiff competition, yes.
Exactly. The schedule's much better this year than it was last year. Well, not better. The competition is better than it was last year. So that could be the team could not win as many games as last year and still look better, in my opinion. It's just I'm still worried about the defense because you don't lose your best defensive lineman. You don't lose your best safety. And I don't know about linebacker wasn't very good, although Staley did. He saved that freaking ECU game.
Yeah, you get Sherrod Green back, which I think is the big one on the defense. Yeah, in the linebacker position.
I just don't think you lose, like I said, you lose your best defensive lineman. You lose your best safety, even though he was a walk-on. That was a big development because without Foster last year, this team was he had like 8 turnovers by itself. You don't lose 8 turnovers and become a better defense. But that's why we talk about it and they play. I'm just ready to get the ball kicked off and see what actually happens now because it is talking season and man,
yeah,
I really would like to see some football.
Yeah, I get to the point about 2 weeks before kickoff where I'm like, I'm tired myself of because you get to a point in the preseason where you start kind of just saying the same things over and over because it's like we have all these questions and the only way we're going to get answers is to see it on the field. So It is exciting times, though. I mean, I love creating content around it and talking about it. Now we're really diving into the nitty gritty, like I said, of figuring out who this team's going to be and all that. But no, I mean, I think you upgraded in a lot of areas. I think there's certainly a lot of question marks, but I think top to bottom, this is a better football team than it was last year. I don't think there's any question.
Oh, no doubt about that. Rattler, no matter how he plays, like no matter how Rattler plays, is a absolute upgrade at the best position on the field. So that automatically raises the bar. Now this is going to be a hot take, and it might piss some fans off. I don't see, outside of injury, I don't see the boy from Myrtle Beach ever starting a game at South Carolina. He hadn't proven anything to me. I remember we went back and forth last year about him. What was it, the Kentucky game? And you were like, yeah, he was literally one play away from tying the game. And I'm like, yeah, they still lost. That game was horrible. Like they checked out at halftime.
I think you're referring to Luke Doty. Luke Doty is the name we're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a quality SEC backup. I don't see him as an SEC starter anywhere outside of necessity. But again, that's why we talk about it, and that's why they play.
Right.
He has 3-4 years to prove me wrong, and we'll see what happens.
For sure, man. Brother. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. My guy, appreciate you, brother. All right, take care. Aaron, great stuff, as always, from him. I mean, yeah, he mentions the upgrades, and I listed, key departures and key Gamecocks. And there's some people on social media like, this guy ain't a key departure. This one, for the sake of the list, I listed a lot of the guys that just left that played at all. I agree that Rico Powers isn't a key departure. I agree Jakari Caldwell isn't a key departure, but he did leave, and for the sake of the list and for the graphic to look uniform, I wanted to list all those names. But we upgraded in a lot of areas. We upgraded in a lot of areas, and that should spell big success for us. Robbie Davis tried to call in. We unfortunately missed Robbie. Robbie, if you'd like to call back in, my guy, I know you will. Hayden Gale, what class will Beamer get his first 5-star? That's a great question, man. I mean, you're asking me to make a prediction on something that I don't have any like rhyme or reason to make the prediction. I'll say next year.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Hicks.
Robbie, what's going on, my man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's up?
I agree with you. To an extent. Okay, that if this offense, if we can get to the point early in the season and do this very often, I think if we can get to 30-ish on the points, or maybe have a game where we crack 40, I think we are good enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can somehow if we can somehow score 30-ish points, right, like 35 or 37 or 38 points a game, and just muddy the game up, right, like make them earn every dang inch on that football field, I think we can win some games very easily and shock a few people in some toss-up games.
Robbie, if we score 38 points per game this season, we will win the SEC East. I'm not joking. I feel confident in saying that. 38 points. Either that, or we will beat the living shit out of Georgia State, SC State, Charlotte, and Vanderbilt. We'll score like 70 against them. Like, we will inflate the numbers so ridiculously that we'll be an 8-4 team and score 60 or 70 against Vandy. That's, I mean, 38 points per game would be wild. And Satterfield will get the extension of a lifetime.
Yeah, he would. And also, one of the keys is we have got to get the ball to our athletes, right? Like what you said earlier before the first break. We've got to get the ball to Bell, Joyner, even though in my own personal opinion he's not that great of a wide receiver, but whenever he has that ball in his hands, good luck trying to bring him down because he's very good at making people miss. And we have got to, because they're going to be keen on certain, like teams are going to be keen on certain formations and stuff like that. So I think we need to figure out creative ways to get our athletes the ball and find a way to block somebody long enough for us to get down the field. I don't care if all you get is 5 yards a pop. If you get 5 yards a pop, you're still moving forward.
Right. Yeah. Get the ball to the athletes, Robbie. That's the name of the game. You're right. Get the ball to the athletes. You got a lot of guys that can touch the football. I think one of
Sat's long enough for them to get down the field.
Yeah, I think one of Sat's greatest challenges this year is just how do you split up the touches? A lot of guys need to touch it. So
well, here's the thing. If you're able to split it up, like sort of kind of evenly, right? It'll get to the point to where the defense you're going against ain't going to know who's going to get the ball, right? But if you're constantly throwing it to one or just two guys, they'll figure out quick, fast, and in a hurry what the tendency is of this offense.
Right.
Right. So we have got to figure out ways to get people the ball that they wouldn't expect to get the ball. Because I am convinced that we have athletes that haven't been able to shine quite yet, and we have athletes that have shined, and we're going to need both in order to have some great success this year.
Indeed, man. Yeah, can't be one dimensional. Can't be one dimensional.
Today's her birthday.
Shout out to Allison. Happy birthday, Allison. We're full of birthday shout outs on this show. That's what we do.
I promise you, you'll probably get one for your birthday. I ain't gonna lie, you'll probably get one.
December 25th.
Yep. You're a Christmas baby.
That's indeed facts, yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's what we need to do 100%. And dadgummit, when our offense is on the field, stay on the field, okay? Because last year our offense did way too dadgum many 3-and-outs. Way too many.
Yeah, 37.2% was our third down conversion rate last year, and it was one of the worst in college football.
That is the definition of shitty.
That's fair.
I don't know who did worse than us, but that's the definition of shitty. And we got to do better than that.
Indeed.
All right, buddy. I'm going to get off of here.
Robbie, I appreciate the call, my guy.
My nephew. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for the call, Robbie. I appreciate you.
Hopefully I will see you Wednesday, by the way. Hopefully I will see you Wednesday. I think me and my dad are planning on going to Tin Roof on Wednesday.
Awesome.
He's going to try and get off early enough, so hopefully I will see you on Wednesday evening. Go Gamecocks. To heck with Clemson, you bunch of farming losers. Losers. All right, bud. Have a good one.
Robbie, appreciate you, my guy. Always great stuff from Robbie Davis. Coach Davis has spoken. Coach Davis has spoken. Get the ball to your playmakers, in case you didn't know. That is the key. Get the ball to the playmakers, block, and a lot of good things will happen. Jeff Gullidge, for me this season, I want to have that feeling by the midway in the season we feel we can score on any play in series like in Spurrier's era versus just hoping we don't have a 3-and-out again when we go out there. Yeah, I mean, you want to have the feeling that if we need to score, we can, right? And, I don't think anybody's expecting us to score 50 points a game or anything. But, yeah, certainly presenting more of a threat, more of a presence offensively. you know, what's what's interesting is, it's been a couple of years, right, since we've had a coach's job security, right, as one of the lead storylines. But I mean, that's certainly the case with Marcus Satterfield. And there are many folks out there. There are many folks out there that are going to be basically, he's guilty off the jump. Marcus Satterfield is in a prove it season. There's no doubt. I mean, Marcus Satterfield's in a prove it season, right? You went from having a beat up hoopty last year, and you didn't have the personnel, you didn't have the playmakers year one of the system, to you traded in that beat up hoopty for a Ferrari, for a Maserati. And we're handing the keys over to the sports car to Marcus Satterfield and saying, here you go. It's put up or shut up. If it doesn't work this year, it ain't the car's fault. We need a new driver. So there's absolutely no excuse when you look at the guys you added. I mean, just Spencer Rattler alone. But it goes far beyond him. All 5 offensive linemen returning. Josh Van's back. Antoine Wells gets added to the fold. Corey Rucker gets added to the fold. Jaheim Bell is back. You add Austin Stogner. You still got very good players at running back. Dak Joyner's back after his bowl game performance. Jalen Brooks gets back. Xavier Legette is back. You've got plenty of options. Chad Terrell, who balled in the spring game, is back. Trey Kenyon, who I thought was impressive in the spring game, is back. You've got plenty of options. Plenty of options. You've got enough weapons to make a very significant jump offensively. And there will be no secret this year. If the offense doesn't work, it falls on one guy, and it's Marcus Satterfield. So only time will tell. Only time will tell. His job security certainly is one of the major storylines of this football season. Let's see. We got a couple of texts here. Chris, my dude, can't wait to be at Seawells. But to me, the three most on the up programs in SC football had to be Arkansas, Kentucky, and us. Far-fetched, yes. But how great would it be if we pulled out the dub on both those schools? And I feel like that would considerably change the look of our program to the rest of the SEC, and more importantly, recruits. To me, those 2 games are some of our most important on the schedule this year. Can you elaborate? And it's Justin Z, by the way, from Georgia. Thank you, Justin, for texting in. I mean, yeah, listen, there's a lot of games on the schedule that in regards to SEC East hierarchy and the trend, the trajectory of your program. Winning those games like against Kentucky, against Missouri, if you can beat an Arkansas, those are games, beating Florida again. I posted a graphic yesterday. Yeah, when you're talking about trajectory of a program, because here's the thing. It's like the SEC is broken up into tiers, right? You could look at it that way. Like Georgia, Bama, they're in a class of their own right now. And you look at the East specifically. Georgia's up there. Outside of Georgia, though, it's like you got Tennessee, Florida, Kentucky, South Carolina. If you want to throw Mizzou in, I mean, I know I'm listing the entire East off, but teams are fighting for the hierarchy of where you rank, right? So taking advantage of a Florida that has a first-year coach is very important. Getting back to beating Kentucky and Missouri on a consistent basis is very important. Beating an Arkansas, who's sort of in a similar spot to you in regards to, they're still early on in their coach's tenure. They're a program on the rise. The trajectory is positive. If you can beat them, right? That's why I say beating Georgia's nice. Beating Clemson's nice. Beating A&M is nice. It would be nice. But if you're still not taking care of the Tennessees, the Kentuckys, the Mizzous, right? Of course, beating Vanderbilt. It's almost like you're taking one step forward, 2 steps back. You're not really accomplishing anything. We saw that in 2019 when Carolina beat Georgia. Who cares if you beat Georgia if you lose to Appalachian State later in the season? What difference does it make, right? So, winning those games, winning those swing games, very important. And that's going to be the difference when you being a 6-win team or an 8-win team, right? The difference between being a 6-win team and an 8-win team is not beating Georgia. It's beating Kentucky. It's beating Tennessee. It's beating Arkansas. It's beating Mizzou. It's beating those teams. Beating Florida, right? So, let's see. Again, guys, phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. That's 790-3377. Here we go. Here's a take right here from A.J. Bowers. A.J. Bowers says, I'm calling it now. Spencer Rattler finishes top 4 in Heisman voting. He has a chip on his shoulder to prove a lot of people wrong. So, A.J., you think Spencer Rattler's going to New York? The only way Spencer Rattler gets an invite is if we go 9-3 or better and he plays out of his mind. It's the only way. I think that's a little aggressive. I'd love to see it, but yeah. A.J. Bowers, one of the most optimistic Gamecocks in the game, man. A.J. Bowers is one of the most optimistic Gamecocks in the game. I appreciate it. I respect it. I respect it. Austin Hicks, what game are you most excited to watch this year? I mean, all of them, but if I had to pick one, good question. I think the Tennessee game at home is really intriguing. I think that's going to be a really fun one. I think that's got an opportunity to be the best game of the season, like the instant classic game of the year. I think that's going to be a real back and forth ball game. I do have Tennessee winning the ball game, but I think it's a coin flip. I think it can go either way. So, yeah, that game against Tennessee, I would say obviously I'm excited to watch them all. But if I had to pick one, I think that Tennessee game sets up as it could be the game of the year. So, yeah, A.J. Bowers, I know you, my guy. You set yourself up for heartache every year. I know. every week, A.J. Bowers is picking counter to win. It don't matter who we play. I respect it. But, yeah. You need it, though. You need it. You need people to inject that perspective, if you will. Let's see. College football coaches generate the most interactions on personal Twitter accounts in June of 2022. Shane Beamer, number 2 at 58,000 interactions. Lane Kiffin at number 1, 149,000. That's crazy. That's insane. Again, guys, great podcast drop this morning. The season preview series beginning today as I talk Gamecocks offense going into the 2022 football season. Guys, again, thank you all so much for the love and support in regards to the merchandise side of the business. Tons of momentum. I mean, tons of momentum when it comes to our merch. We had a huge weekend selling the Beamer Rattler stuff. And as I told you guys at the beginning of the show, in case you missed it, you all know we have the merchandise inside the Todd Moore location in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. They hit me up this morning. The reception's been so positive. They put in another order this morning, an even bigger order than their first order. So round of applause for you all that support, that show love, that rock the merch, man. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And it is the Beamer Ball merch, by the way. They've got it available now up to sizes. Well, not at the moment. We're printing the merch as we speak, but they will have sizes up to 4XL. Right now, they just got up to extra large. They'll have sizes up to 4XL of the Beamer Ball white, garnet, and black. So really, really exciting. Really exciting stuff. Ed McKinnis, will we be able to generate enough NIL funding to stay competitive in the SEC? Yeah, I think so. Why wouldn't we? Are we broke? Are we poor, Ed? Do you think we're poor? Do you think we don't have money? You think we ain't got bankroll? I mean, we got enough money to get Spencer Rattler to come to campus. You tell me. I think we're fine. Yeah, we don't have the most money, but we're not broke. So, Dalton Hines, they do not have hats yet. I'm going to talk to them about hats. They just have T-shirts, and they're going to have the koozies also. They do not have Beamer Ball hats as of now, but this is something that, again, we're just starting to work together. So I think it's something that I could definitely foresee in the future. They will carry hats. Yes, I would be. I think it'd be a very wise decision if they carried hats. Yeah, I think it'd be a very wise decision on their part. So, let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. Appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. In case you missed it at the top of the show, top of the first hour, Some adjustments being made to the Daily Crow this week. We will have no Daily Crow Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've got family in town. I'm in the middle of a move, a lot of moving pieces, chaos. I'm packing. We will be live at 10 Roof on Wednesday night. Podcast will be unaffected. Podcast dropping Wednesday and Friday, but no Daily Crow Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've made that executive decision. I apologize for anybody who's inconvenienced, but trust me, plenty of content coming your way. In the meantime, we're going to jump into a quick break. Continue to take more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. 843-790-3377. Let's jump back into your questions. M. Colt Outdoors says, the Razorback game can set the tone for the season. Big swing game. I agree. I think it's the biggest swing game of the year. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those games that it's not a must win, but if you do win it, if you do screw around and win that game, all of a sudden, I think an 8-win season definitely comes into play. I mean, all of a sudden, the outlook, I think, of the Georgia game does change a bit, and it just opens up the door of possibility for your football season. It really does. It really does. Brandon Wagner says, really nervous about the O-line. I think that unit will be the difference in going 8-4 and 6-6. We got the playmakers on offense now. You just got to block somebody. They're the only reason I can't see us beating Clemson, and that's fair. That's fair. That's very, very fair, my friend. That's very fair. The offensive line is going to determine a lot this year. I will say this, and let's jump to the phone lines first.
Call from
Luke RJ.
Luke RJ, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. What's up? It's good to see all the. It's good to see that you're doing well and all the merch is selling good and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, it was a crazy weekend. I mean, I don't know if it was because, you know, I wore this hat on Friday and posted a lot of content. I guess people saw it, and I don't know, man. It just sometimes it happens. So, no, it's a blessing though, for sure, man. I appreciate the love and you know, positive momentum, man. 54 days till kick. So exciting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you've got Stephen Garcia on the show too. Maybe that turns some heads too.
Oh, I think so.
About the Daily Crow.
Yeah, no, I think so for sure, man. And that starts in 2 weeks. And I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to have Stephen on. You know, all due respect to all the other content creators out there, but I'll confidently say that if nothing else, on Mondays, that'll be the best content on the internet, at least for on the game in Gamecock circles. I think that'll be great content just for college football fans. I mean, Garcia is a living legend, right? So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, he's going to provide us a ton of value, man, talking X's and O's, but also, of course, just being who he is and shooting the shit and having a good time. And I think he's somebody that, you know, Gamecock fans obviously can relate to, and what he did at USC speaks for itself. And blessed to call him a friend. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's going to be an absolute blast. And I think the Daily Crow audience, I think you guys will find a lot of value in it.
Yeah, he's a legend,
Yeah.
and a lot of people like Garcia, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Is the Big Cock Club anniversary? Was it Saturday?
It was Saturday. Yeah, that was the 1 year of when I rolled it out. So yeah, that was Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that, but I joined the Big Cock Club Saturday.
There you go.
On
Beautiful.
the end, I guess. So.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my guy. I will say to those who are in the Big Cock Club right now, and those who are even thinking about joining, I mean, my goals and aspirations for that, I want to do a lot more. It's an interesting thing to navigate because I want to keep content free. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, like I'm obviously not going to put the podcast behind some sort of paywall or, you know, the Daily Crow or whatever, but trying to do different, unique things that create a unique experience. I mean, I think the Discord's awesome. I mean, you've obviously been active in it already. I think the Discord's incredible, and there's a lot of things I say and post in there that I don't put on social media, but it's a cool little community we've built. And I mean, I appreciate all those, man, that, you know, really it serves too is like some people want to support the business through merchandise. Some people just want to follow and listen. Some people want to become a sponsor, and then some people want to join the Big Cock Club. So I think creating that avenue has been really big for us, and it's something that I really do enjoy too. So like I said, I appreciate you joining, my guy. For real, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. The Discord is really cool. Getting to talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But even if there wasn't like any other content that you provided, just I rock with the business, and I wanted to support you, man. Just $10 a month. I mean, I can figure that out, and I can do that. So you know, and just to know that, you know, it helps you with what you want to do in your vision for Gamecock sports, man. It's worth it to me. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you sincerely.
about that Beamer Rattler hat. You ever think you'll make that in black? I know it's kind of like a like, you know, white for like, you know, the whole vision of that that fan. But if you put that in black, I might buy that, and I plan on buying some other merch here pretty soon.
Yeah, no, I've thought about it. I might that might be something I look into, and if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now. So before the season gets here. But yeah, we just, you know, it's you can believe it or not, you can almost offer merchandise in like too many variants. You can get to a point where there's too many variants. And so it's just like, well, which one do I pick? And then people just don't even end up making a decision because there's, you know what I mean? You can have too many options. It is possible. So that's why initially we just did white. I was like, you know, this looks really clean. But I do agree with you. I think there's certainly opportunity for black and garnet. I think people would scoop that up in a heartbeat. So I guess it's something I need to jump on, my guy. So no, it's we'll say by end of week. I think that is a smart move, honestly. I think it's I mean, dude, this would look incredible in black. It really would. So. And it'd be a simple fix too. You just throw it on black, make the text white, keep the lines garnet and the number garnet, and boom, you got your hat.
Yeah, I mean, with white hats, you know, people wear them and they sweat. And
they get dirty. They do. Yeah, my bill, you can maybe see it a little bit here from where I obviously grabbed my hat a shit ton. It's there's a little mark there. So yeah, you are right. The white the white does tend to get dirty pretty easily. So.
Yeah. Well, so I listened to the podcast this morning. I wanted to talk about a couple of things about the offense that you were talking about.
Right.
With Satterfield, you know, I'm not saying that calling plays are easy. I'm not saying, you know, that is, it's, you know, everything about it, or, you know, being a couch coach or whatever, but here's the thing. Everybody says he's an offensive genius, and, you know, he knows offense and stuff. And we're waiting to see if he can, you know, get us, you know, up there in the rankings as an offense better. But, you know, I mean, like, what about, like, when you're calling a play, what I want to see is if you call a certain play, you better have, like, the best player for that play. Like, for instance, like, we haven't seen the fade route in the end zone from like 20 yards out. But if you're gonna call that fade route, you need somebody like Alshon that can go up and, you know, catch the ball over the defender. So you need like a bit, you know, like a tall player in that scenario. Or like if you throw the ball to like the sideline to a receiver, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need someone who is really quick and can make tackles after the catch to, you know, get upfield and stuff like that. So I know that when, you know, you have a certain player and each player plays a certain position and someone needs a breather or something, and if you have just good players across the board, you know, you can get away with not having the best player exactly like for that play that would have the most success. But I think it's important. You know, and like for instance, like Amarian Brown, like, you know, he should be on a deep post route over the middle. He's probably the fastest guy. Like, that's another example where, like, you know how they used to use Demir Bird in the Spurrier years, where he would just go downfield and then they throw it up to him, and I mean nobody could stay with him. You know,
right?
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's your job as the coach. In this case, Marcus Satterfield, it's your job as the coach to put your players in the best possible position to be successful. That's basically what you're saying. That's what it all boils down to. So, yeah, for whatever play you call, you need the best possible personnel on the field to make it happen. And, you know, I will say this, looking back at last year, just for a moment, I think it was 50-50 on personnel. I just refuse to put it all on Marcus Satterfield. Was he great last year? No. God, no. God, no, he wasn't. I mean, anybody with two eyes could see at times there were decisions that were made where you're just like, what are we thinking, right? But you do have to take into account to some degree the personnel and the revolving door at quarterback and the fact that, you know, here's the thing, like Josh Vann was really your only target because Jaheim Bell was a nice player last year, but he didn't really become who we're expecting him to be now until late in the season. Like he wasn't that guy going into last year. I don't think we had crazy expectations for Jaheim Bell, right? And then the offensive line was abysmal, and I guess you could put that on Sat and his scheme. So here, bottom line is this. This is a prove it year. This is a show me year for all parties involved. And you're right. It's his job to put the talent he has in the best possible position to be successful. That's why I've said, dude, you said you listened to the show today, so you probably heard me say that, saying the offensive line is not good, that's not a good enough excuse this year, because you already know going into the season, there's a chance it's a deficiency. So you better have a game plan around it, right? You can't just score 24 points per game and say, well, the O-line wasn't good. Well, you knew it wasn't going to be good. What did you do about it? How did you game plan around it? And I mean, to a degree, yeah, I mean, it's hard to overcome that being a deficiency, but, you got to be able, like you're saying, put together the best possible game plan for the talent, the pieces that you have. So, if Sat can do that effectively enough, he'll be in this same position as our OC at this time next year. If he can't, I don't think he'll be here. I think it'll be pretty obvious that a change will have to be made. So,
yeah. Well, with the offensive line and Satterfield, towards the end of the season, and when they had a bye week, I think they all really figured out how to work together. There were talks about how maybe somebody was upset or they weren't working together as good. But by the end of the season, when they had that extra week to prepare for, I think it was Florida, there was major changes in the play calls. And, I think, that with the play that works in the run game, if it works, they learned that it doesn't have to be some different play or different, anything different. They just kept running the same play, over and over again. And it doesn't have to be different like that. And I think things like that they'll just make adjustments with, if they have to run the same play in the running game, they will, and that's okay if it works, but the other thing about running backs that I wanted to talk about was, especially the offensive line, that zone blocking scheme that Elliott had, where, I think what they were saying is that it's just, you move a certain way, and if anyone's in your area, you just block it. I don't know that for sure, but
right.
But when Lattimore plays, the whole line would be shifting to the left, right? The whole play would be going to the left, and Lattimore sees the whole field open to the right, and he just abandons the play that the way it was supposed to go, and he just breaks the run for 25 yards. And I think a lot of running backs have to have good vision like that, And if they're worried about the coach saying, well, the play was supposed to go this way, I bet they won't be mad if you get 25 yards and you just go where the opening is in the defense. I think vision is, you can be the strongest, fastest guy, but if you can't see where the hole is, that's, and you run right into the back of your lineman, that's not, even if that's where the play design, you can't do that.
I mean, listen, run game doesn't. It's not just on the offensive line. I mean, running backs have got to make plays too, right? Running backs have to make plays too, and so it doesn't. A lot of it falls on them. But it's not all on them. So
yeah. And so the three players that I think are not getting talked about, and they have a lot to, a lot of opportunity to show what they got this year, is Leggett, Kenyon, and Terrell. And all three of those players, I think, did pretty good in the spring game. But I saw that video of Leggett, like a highlight reel of him saying I think I got pretty big in this offense. So that got me excited about him a couple weeks ago. And Kenyon is another one, and Terrell's been injured, like you said. And then you got Juju, but I think those players are. I mean, we're talented everywhere, man. You know,
You've got enough pieces. You've got enough pieces to be very productive. I agree. I mean, you're not. I wouldn't say you got the best receiver room in the conference or the whatever, but like you're talented enough to be productive to get 30 points per game. I think that's very fair to say. Yeah. So all about how you utilize those pieces, and like you mentioned, man, putting them in the best possible position to be successful. I mean, that's it'll all fall on Sat. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, man, you traded in the beat up Hoopty for the Ferrari. Now it's time to drive the car and make it work. So, and if it doesn't, it'll fall on him.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Can't wait till kickoff. Appreciate you taking my call, and go Cox, man.
Luke RJ, appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Getting back to your questions. That was not Robbie Davis, Rebecca. William Wade says, Chris, you're a moron. William, I've heard worse from better. And my guy, you're an Eagles fan. So it sucks to suck, Slapdick. It sucks to suck. All right. Anyways, let's see. Our guy, Air Josiah's back in the fold. The pride of Hammond High School, I believe. Don't make me sick the Trip Roche on you, my guy. Don't make me sick Trip Roche on you. Let's see. Question, Tyler Knoll says, why has everyone written off Luke after last year? I just want to remind everyone of two things. Number one, he played with a broken foot, was downplayed by the coaching staff all year to the Vandy game. Number two, I don't care who was under center last year. The O-line couldn't hold a blocker to save their life. Well, Tyler, because when you're in that position, it's a high-profile position. You're going to get way too much of the credit when things go well, and you get way too much of the blame when things don't. So, unfortunately, Luke Doty, he caught hell for it. Same way Spencer Rattler will, right? Even if the O-line sucks again this year, Spencer Rattler's the one who's going to catch hell. He's going to be the one that's going to get the criticism, right? He will. So, I haven't given up on Luke Doty. I have not given up on him. Is he going to play quarterback this year? I don't see it. I mean, I think he is your backup. And I think in the spring game, he honestly showed that I think his passing ability looked improved to me. So, I don't know. I think fans got a quick glimpse of Luke Doty, and they fairly or unfairly just wrote him off. I haven't written him off. We'll see how it plays out, but next year, not looking too far ahead, but next year you will have a quarterback battle. There's no question. You will have a quarterback battle between guys like Doty, Braden Davis, Tanner Bailey, Reno if he reclassifies. So there's going to be a lot of guys fighting for that job. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break. But I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. Final 12 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow. Time flying by today, man. Time flies when you're having fun. Back to your questions. Dalton Hines says, Van has the most experience in the wide receiver room for us, so I think he's going to get a lot of targets again this year. Yeah, I would agree. And I feel like Dalton, again, in about a month or so, I'll be going through my position unit preview series, or we'll dive into each and every single position unit more in detail and break it all down. I feel like Josh Van is sort of the forgotten guy. Like, I know everybody's excited about Wells, and everybody's excited about Bell and Corey Rucker and Stogner, but like, this is our leading receiver from a season ago. Like, put some respect on Josh Van's name, right? I mean, he's the most proven of all the pass catchers. Why is he not getting the love? Antoine Wells is listed on a preseason All-SEC team, but Josh Van's not anywhere? How does that make any sense? I don't know. Let's jump to the phone lines. Rebecca, what's going on? How are you?
Good. I see that we have a Clemson fan in the YouTube live chat.
We do indeed.
They're about to get the wrath out of me.
They're about to feel the wrath of Rebecca.
What is his last name? I couldn't.
Josiah. It's just a spam account. It's some high school kid from Hammond. I've seen him on Instagram. Guy I know knows him. He's a slapdick. It ain't no big deal.
I like to say something to him.
Okay.
All right, Air. This is a Gamecock only show. So what I'm saying to you is, you better leave before I go off on you.
We certainly don't want that. No need for the wrath of Rebecca to be shared.
So if you'll please leave the YouTube chat live, we won't have any problems. Am I right, Chris?
That's right. That's right.
And that's all I have to say to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he better just go ahead and click the exit button.
Just go ahead and log off for the day.
Right. But anyway, tomorrow we're doing that birthday party show tomorrow.
Something like that, yeah.
Get your ass off of here. There. You don't want to mess with me. And anyway, I was going to say we would do that birthday party and then we'll talk about South Carolina Gamecocks at the same time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair enough.
Indeed.
So, I thought I'd see about that, and I know I've been excited about it too.
I'm excited as well. I'm excited as well.
Maybe we're gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have a blast.
Can't do it. You can't do music because you know how they are about copyright.
They'll shut us down. They'll shut us down. They'll shut us down. Yeah, we can't have that.
But I just thought I'd call and say hello and hope everybody's having a good day down in South Carolina.
Oh yeah, it's actually the weather cooled off a little bit. Thank God. We were dying down here. It's like I think mid 80, or actually it's like 80 degrees today. So I will gladly take that. So we all will at this point. So
Tommy, thank you. But we're having it tomorrow, so if you don't, I understand if you can't make it. But anyway, I want to get off here and let somebody else call. We got only about 5 minutes.
We do. Rebecca, I appreciate the call as always. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Now, John Rice is my buddy right there.
John Rice is indeed a legend. He is. We appreciate John.
Right. All right. Anybody wants to call in? DGD, my birthday's on Wednesday, but we're celebrating it tomorrow on the show. And so he's going to be gone on my birthday doing family stuff. So we're doing it a little bit. We're going to celebrate it on here tomorrow. Alright, I'll let somebody else get on here and I'll be looking forward till tomorrow, Chris.
Looking forward to it as well, Rebecca. It'll be a fun day tomorrow.
Yes, it will.
All right. Take care. Good stuff. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. That is Rebecca. What a legend. What a legend. Another legendary call from Rebecca. I guess we're throwing a birthday tomorrow. Throwing a birthday party. Let's see. Got a couple minutes to go. Guys, quick reminder, podcast drop this morning, episode 673. The season preview series begins as we talk offense. We talk Gamecocks offense going in the season. Also, as I mentioned to you all, some changes for this week. We got a lot going on, so no Daily Crow Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow will be the last one of the week. I know I hate it as well, but a lot of moving pieces, family stuff going on. We got to move. We're taking care of a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening on this side. So appreciate y'all rolling with the punches, staying patient. Podcast will be unaffected. Wednesday, Friday, we'll continue the season preview series. Wednesday, talking defense, and then Friday, talking special teams. And, yeah, we'll keep rocking with the preseason content, man. This is a fun time of year. Fun time of year. A week from today, SEC Media Days gets going. Talking season, as the HBC used to like to call it. Monday's show, we'll have a full SEC Media Days preview. Wednesday will be our SEC Media Days recap. We'll talk about everything Shane Beamer spoke on at SEC Media Days. And also at that point, we'll be beginning the opponent preview series starting next Monday, where I'll just literally go through and break down each opponent we play, give you guys an idea behind their team, what they return, all that good stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. John Rice says, can I have a birthday show? Why not? Everybody, to hell with it. Y'all can all have a birthday show. We'll spend the next 6 months of the Daily Crow, 5 months, 5.5, whatever, of 2022. Everybody's got a birthday. All we'll do is just talk about your birthday that entire day. That's all we'll do. Great entertainment value there. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have numbers will skyrocket. Yeah, I'm sure numbers will skyrocket. Absolutely. Anyways, let's see. Got about a minute or so. Chase Floyd, my birthday's January the 26th. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. I feel like there's a question. Yeah, Michael Hodson says, crazy to think what a year does. Leggett and Joyner probably not even starting week 1. Yeah, well, when you upgrade, you add talented players, that tends to happen, man. That tends to happen. So it's a positive. I look at it as a positive. I mean, we should be upgrading yearly. We should be bringing in pieces that compete with the guys we currently have. And, hey, iron sharpens iron. You don't like it, go somewhere else. This is SEC ball, though. It's a business, and the business is winning, and we need to do it at a high level. So you're going to bring in the best possible players you can to compete and to start and to contribute. And I'm glad we did that. And, yeah, so Ed McInnes, final question. Number of touchdowns by Rattler and number of picks. Hard to project, but if I got to give a number, I think he throws single-digit interceptions. I think something like 27 and 9, something like that. I think he has a good year. I really do. Guys, that's going to do it all for us. Appreciate you all tuning in. Brandon Wagner, final things. Is the receiver room so packed, Amari and Brown basically forgotten. Yeah. Hey, we got options. We got weapons. Now it's time to make it happen. Make it happen offensively. All right, guys, we've hit 2 o'clock. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Check out the podcast that dropped this morning. Stay tuned to all the content bleeding out of the eyeballs. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday, and we will talk to you all tomorrow.